guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am sharing a mid-year homeschool book haul. This is from Rainbow Resource. It's mostly books. I have one toy and 2 games, and then the rest of it is all books. And I'm actually sharing this as part of my monthly collaboration series with Jessica from the Waldock Way. I'm sharing it at the end of the month, although Jessica and I open up this open collaboration for everyone to participate in on the first Wednesday of the month, but we got hit with such a terrible flu toward the end of January that I was just way behind and did not have the energy to film videos or really do much. It knocked us out for a few weeks, and then we had a family trip scheduled, and so we're just getting back into the swing of things around here, homeschool included. This month's theme was Homeschool Librarian, and we were sharing some of our favorite books or just books that we're currently enjoying in our homeschool. And so what I decided to do was share this haul because these are the books that I have planned for my kids for our current medieval history series. We are studying the Middle Ages right now in our homeschool. We did the ancient world for about 1.5 years, and we are just now getting into the Middle Ages. We'll be doing this for about 1.5 years, and then we'll move on to early modern times. And I mentioned in my high school Q&A video that I love as much table time or family subjects as possible, and I take our family history or our family geography or, you know, certain like a bird study that we're doing as a family, and I expand on that for my older kids to make it worth a high school credit. And so the way that I'm doing that for our history right now is by adding in all these wonderful books. So I consult a lot of different book lists online and found some great resources for my older ones and also some fun read alouds for my younger ones. And so I thought I would share those with you just to give you an idea of what I'll be having my older kids read and my younger ones as well throughout the course of the next 1.5 years and then some. There's a book called The King's Fifth that my son read couple months ago that my daughter will be reading soon. That was on that list. We already had it. We already have a few of the other books, but these are all new to us, and it'll just give you kind of a general idea of how I take what's considered to be like an elementary or early middle school curriculum and build a high school history credit off of that. So if you have any more questions about that, I'll put my video that I am talking about in the description box down below, and you can kind of see my thoughts on high school in general. But these are the books that I grabbed from Rainbow Resource, as well as the additional items that I grabbed for my kids for this upcoming semester. All right, so the first game here is, it's just called Outmatched Medieval History. I believe I mentioned this is all from Rainbow Resource. I've grabbed some things on Amazon as well, but I'm doing just a Rainbow Resource haul today. So this looks like, yeah, it's from IEW, so I'm sure that we won't be completely familiar with it, but it seemed good enough anyway for us. It seemed like a fun idea. So Outmatched Medieval History, it's a card game for learning history. So I grabbed that. We have a history co-op that we've had with friends for years and years, and so I thought that'd be fun for the older ones to do. Then I also grabbed this tile game called Keys to the Castle. Race against your fellow knights through the castle, where behind every door awaits a surprise. Open and lock doors to be the first one to cross the precarious maze to the other side. So that looked like fun as well. And then the other thing that I grabbed has nothing to do with the medieval history cycle that we're in, is this Picasso Tiles Marble Run. And I got this for like to have as like a community marble run. If you have been around here for a while, then you know I love all sorts of toys and games like that in our homeschool, and I've invested in quite a few different marble runs and marble mazes over the years, but they've been gifts for individual kids. And my younger ones were wanting to play with one that's for my older boys just a couple weeks ago, and they were really trying to share, but they were like, oh, that piece will break easily, and you know, and I could just tell that they didn't really want to have it just be out for all the little kids. We had some other kids over that day, so I was like, you know what, we just need one that's for everyone. So I grabbed that because that's one of their most favorite toys. The marble mazes and marble runs are out all the time. So now into the books, and these are in no particular order, they're just however they were stacked in the box here. This is what my 10-year-old son is reading right now, the story of King Arthur and his knights. I've got The Door in the Wall. This will be for both my 10-year-old son as well as my 12-year-old son to read. We have Famous Men of the Middle Ages. Next, I've got Black Arrow by Robert Louis Stevenson. These are all from just different times throughout the Middle Ages, so I need to put them in order of how we will read them, just based on where we are in our history site or our history book, because I don't want to be reading something from, you know, one era and then kind of like bring it back to something that was much earlier, because I just feel like that will cause confusion. Leif the Lucky. Is it Leif or Leif? I don't know. I think it's Leif. Don't make fun of me. That one's going to be a read aloud. Then we have The Lantern Bearers for my older ones. And the reason that I invest in these versus just grabbing them from the library was because most of them aren't available at our library, but also because this is for my older ones mostly, and I have 4 kids yet to go through high school besides my current one who's in high school. And so what I plan to do after we finish this, and it's the same thing that I did with our ancient civilization books, because my history read aloud shelf is just getting so big, like I've got 2 shelves and they're double stacked, is I'm gonna put the books in a bin and label it when I put our curriculum away, so that I can just pull this out and have the complete set of books in there versus sitting on my shelf for the next 4.5 years until we get back to this history curriculum. And I just would like to have all the work kind of done for me ahead of time, and I've got all the books there, so even when Annabeth and Eli are in high school, I've got that ready for them. The Sword in the Tree. This is a trophy chapter book. I also have a Viking Adventure. I love when chapter books also have just some light illustrations. We have Castle Diary, The Journal of Tobias Burgess. Let me know if you guys have read some of these and your thoughts on them. Bible Smuggler. And I remember being excited about this one. Oh yes, William Tyndale. We have the Magna Carta. The Minstrel in the Tower. The Prince and the Pauper by Mark Twain. The Apple and the Arrow. Famous Men of the Renaissance and Reformation. I'm personally excited about this one. One of my friends, and I believe I'm gonna do a Amazon haul here soon to just show you some of the things I've grabbed on Amazon lately, but one of my girlfriends suggested the book Jesus Through Medieval Eyes, I believe is what it's called, and it just shows you kind of like what was happening in theology and the perspective on the church back in medieval times for me to read while my kids are reading through some of these books. So I'm excited about that just for my own education. Good Masters, Sweet Ladies, Voices from a Medieval Village. I've been really excited about this one for some reason. This was the first book that I added to the list probably over the summer, last summer, kind of in anticipation for getting to the medieval times. So this one is a collection of monologues and dialogues. There's some poetry in here. Let's see if there's a description. So there's Hugo, the Lord's nephew, forced to prove his manhood by hunting wild boar. There's sharp-tongued Nellie, who supports her family by catching and selling live eels, and the peasant's daughter Mog, whose downtrodden mother teaches her how to save the family cow from a greedy landlord. Let's see. So it goes through all sorts of different voices from the time, and it just looks really interesting. So I thought this was something that would really get my kids' attention and that we could add to our read aloud list. We have the Merry Adventures of Robin Hood. There were quite a few Robin Hood options, so it was hard for me to pick which one I wanted to grab. We have Cathedral, the story of its construction. This one was a suggestion from the Simply Charlotte Mason website, I want to say. Let's see if I can find the info on this one. Okay, so the cathedral in this book is imaginary, but it corresponds closely to the actual construction of a Gothic cathedral. So it talks about the single-mindedness, spirit, and courage typical of people of the 12th, 13th, and 14th century in Europe. So this looked really interesting, and I actually got this for my older ones, but it may be one that, say, my 10, or 11-year-old at the time would be interested in. I grabbed, okay. These were not suggestions. These just came from me searching the word medieval. Yes. On the website. So I'm going to set these aside for a moment. Okay. All right. This was the last suggestion that I got from various book lists. It was A Medieval Feast, and it shows the story of the medieval feast coming to be. So this I grabbed for another read aloud. Okay, so then some things that I kind of found on my own that I thought my kids may be interested in. Medieval projects you can do. So these won't be assigned reading, but this one has make a wall hanging like in a noble's home, the field of honor, creating a coat of arms. These were for military machines. Let's see, build a trebuchet, make a mosaic, stained glass window. These were all ideas that I wanted to have for hosting history when, if I don't like the project in the book, we use Story of the World. Medieval towns, trade and travel, another picture book type of resource. Medieval society, I believe these are all from the same publishing company. Yeah. Medieval warfare, I know a couple boys in particular who I thought may enjoy that book. Just kind of looking through it. Life on a Medieval Manor. Great medieval projects you can build yourself. Again, something that I thought I may pull in for our history projects, as well as our history presentation. We always have our kids and my friends' kids give a presentation to the grandparents on something we learned that year or someone we learned about. And so a lot of them are going to be choosing medieval. Some of them will be choosing some things we read about in ancient times, because we finished the ancient times book in November, so I'll be interested. Then I also have medieval myths, legends, and songs. And then the last thing that I have here are the Dover coloring books, which I just love these coloring books. So I got the medieval castle coloring book for them to just color along while I'm reading different books or reading our history book. And yep, I have my older ones, my teenagers color along too. They enjoy it. I enjoy coloring with them too. So I love these Dover coloring books because they're very detailed. And so they're not just like the most simple coloring pages. As I read chapters of books, it usually takes the kids about the entire chapter to do a coloring page. So then I grabbed a couple things just for, I have a little prize bin in our homeschool room, so I just got a couple of the little Easter egg stickers from Dover as well to put in that prize bin. So that is my Rainbow Resource Haul from this month to kind of get us going for the next semester in history, and to add to my older kids' history lessons to kind of create a little bit of a higher level education for them, so they're not just reading a elementary and middle school curriculum. And it's also my video for this month's Homeschool Show and Tell with Jessica from the Waldock Way. So thank you for watching this video. Leave any of your favorite medieval book suggestions in the comments down below. And if you want to see the playlist from this month, now that it's the end of the month, all the videos should be there. Usually I'll be like, people will be adding videos throughout the month, but it's actually the last day, I believe, when I'm sharing this, that videos can be added to that playlist for the month. So if you want to see everybody else's take on the homeschool librarian topic, I will link the playlist down below for you guys. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.